Alright, so I guess this is After Dark,
Oh.
I believe. So
Oh, are we after dark? We're after dark.
yeah, we're now
3
after
songs.
dark. So yeah, me and Dark were just kind of like wrapping up uh, stuff here. So
For self-reflection. Yeah, I sent you the 3 suggested songs.
oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna listen to them now, but I'll listen to them when I
Today's
get the
Grace.
chance. All right, I'll take a look at that when I can. Thank you, Dark.
Question mark.
So I guess
Grace. The band.
I don't know where to like really start. So
I'm muted? No, I'm not.
no, you should be. Everyone
Oh,
should hear you.
okay. Hello? I'm asking a question. You're not answering it. I'm like, okay. I was
So,
asking. Yeah.
um, I guess should we go into the live shits on part, or I don't know.
Are we gonna rehash everything we said?
Uh, well, actually, I wanted to bring it up because I figured should we probably have like a couple of things that because like there's things I have like a strong passion for, and then there's other things who I really don't really care too much about. And I started thinking because I
Show your
start
Discord that you're back.
oh crap, that's
Yeah, go do that.
the Discord. Am I missing something?
I'm asking if you said, hey, post show starting on your Discord.
Oh yeah, don't yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Josh. If you're not.
Oh, is he okay?
Well, he said he'd be back at 5, and I'm like, well, we should probably, people want to see it,
Well,
so they can come back.
God damn it, this happened before.
Also, apparently, Lucky's been lurking.
Oh
That's
really?
funny.
Oh
Well,
dude,
it says
it's
he's in the users in chat.
oh man, if we could get him in Discord, we could probably talk to him.
My God, just freaking drag his ass into Discord.
Well, I don't know if he's free or
Welcome
just.
to podcast, bitch. Welcome to your nightmare, bitch. He sure says bitch a lot. Gary Terry, bitch.
All right. Well, I posted stuff anyway.
Nice.
So yeah, I guess I'm live. But basically, what I was gonna say is, I kind of feel like because I'm doing this segment of like live shits on, I kind of started thinking, would everyone start thinking, oh, I probably shouldn't send live this, he's gonna shit on it, kind of type of thing. Because I want people to know that not everything that you send me is gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna shit on that. Like
Hey,
you.
there's the one guy we sent the notification out for.
Welcome back,
But
nerds.
he wasn't gonna do it, and I was like, yeah, you should probably do it for Josh. And he's like, oh, fine.
Yes, I did.
Doesn't love you like I love you. Fan art? Is he making you fan art?
He actually did. He sent me some Yakuza stuff, and I actually thought they looked really good. Yeah, it's supposed to be like the fighting styles and stuff. Anyway, but like the Taylor Swift stuff that you just sent me, like I'm not gonna shit on that. I'm just gonna listen to it and hopefully I'm hoping I like it, but we'll see what happens there. Um, but like, cause like Motorhead is like the band that I really enjoy, and I think it's gonna be a little bit harder for me to take criticism on that. But
Yeah.
but like almost everything else I could care less about. So Like, I love wrestling, but I I could easily take criticism for that because it's wrestling. But you
Yeah.
know, but I started thinking like, if you had to come up with something to where like this is off limits, I was wondering if that was like a thing. And if you don't want to say, you could just tell me in Discord, so that way you don't have to say it on air.
Off limits. Top of my head?
Yeah, there's nothing that you really are like very
No, not
passionate
off the
about.
top of my head.
And again, you don't have
Ah,
to say, it's just something I thought of. Because like for me, if I had to put something on the list of like, probably don't do is for me it's definitely Motorhead. But after that, I don't care. I could still take the jokes and criticism on that, but I would say if it is funny, I think my comedy side of me will just be like, yeah, the joke's fucking hilarious. So
I can't think of anything. I mean, definitely not in sort of music, because I know like there are people who don't
right,
like the kind of music I like sometimes, and I've resigned a long time ago. I like Taylor Swift. I don't really,
right.
know that it's like, what, yeah, if you don't like it, been open to like telling girls about that. I'm just like, yeah, I like that. It's like, oh, that was open. I'm like, it's like, I'm just like, fuck it. I don't care. I like the music.
Because that is one thing I would say is like whatever, you shouldn't like
Also,
change
not
your opinion on something just because someone doesn't like it, kind of type of thing.
Star Wars. No. Uh, yeah. Uh, Thinking about in our little in between where I get a little criticism of my writing and
Mm-hmm.
the characters and stuff. That's kind of a sore little spot for me, but at the same time, it's constructive criticism. I'll take it with gritting teeth and be like,
Yeah.
you're right. I hate that you're right, but I want to get better.
Oh man. Yeah, I think I've been there a few times to where like they're right, but it's like,
The prologue on the podcast when we were talking about it. No, well, I guess we didn't really have. It's fine.
yeah, it's whatever.
Whatever. We can read it now on the post show. I'll read my prologue for my first book. It's somewhere.
I gotta say, did you ever have a chance to listen to the first podcast at all, or
I didn't. I'll be honest.
are you still in that state of like, I just
I
really
don't
can't
like
hear myself
listening to
talk?
my own voice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just like no. The only part I listened to was listening to the part where I stepped out and you were just going and you didn't know what I did.
That is hilarious. That is actually
Yep,
hilarious.
has to be it because I don't remember saying any of this. Even I couldn't tell
No,
when I
but then
stepped
again,
out.
to be fair, you were just listening for the part you missed. Uh, but I kind of listened to the first podcast beginning to end because I really like these podcasts. It's a chance to just kind of hang out, do whatever. And
Yeah.
one thing I didn't notice when we did it live, or even when we did the post podcast thing, but I noticed it after the fact, after I listened to it again, like with fresh ears. What was the whole bit with Cyberpunk? That was so awkward.
Yeah. You brought it up, and then I was like, well, that's weird. The thing is, I was just going off of like, I've only heard controversy about the game, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Yeah,
What's controversy? And you're just like, why?
because
I'm
everyone
like, I don't know.
was,
There's controversy.
and
Thought of it.
then upon thinking about it, like, you went on to talk about Borderlands, and I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Is it Randy Pitchford? I think he's the guy that basically created Borderlands. That guy was in the news every single week, just doing something stupid. And it's kind of funny how Borderlands was perfectly fine, but the guy who created Borderlands was in the news every week. So it was kind of like a weird.
No, Star Wars. Hey, George Lucas.
So it's kind of like a weird state to where it's like, I
Where
didn't.
the creator doesn't necessarily reflect the product. Yes.
Yeah. So like Borderlands 3 isn't like getting any bad publicity, but like the guy who created it definitely.
I'll be
So
honest. I'm worried about George Lucas in my series. If I forget, if it's like, man, we love the series, we love the series you created, and they're like, to do that
right.
story I made, and I'll be like, I understand, George. I understand. Your stories were still shit. Like, but he planned on, like, if he was gonna do the next 3 movies. I mean, the Disney ones are meh at best. And it was like it was gonna explore the world of midi-chlorians and and like what the Force was. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
We're gonna
that
go
kind of
into the
type of
world of midi-chlorians. I was just like,
yeah, like that kind of type of
what?
that kind of type of stuff. Like
That's
I could get that. Yeah.
like that's something you explain in like a blurb in a book, in like a reference book.
Mm-hmm.
Not you dedicate a movie. It's like, look at the midi-chlorians and look how the Force moves, and it's like boring as that frick. It's just replay the scene of Anakin in Episode 1 asking Qui-Gon what midi-chlorians were, and just re-loop that for 2.5 hours.
Right.
Interesting that movie would be. That would have been, and everyone hated. You just science the fuck out of it. It's like you just science Force. We liked it when it was just like, it's the Force. It binds everyone together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's actually microscopic bacteria in your blood that allows you to. Yeah, even if that was true, like, just there's a reason midichlorians don't come back up in 2 or 3 almost anywhere else. Well, it does come up in 3 during the story of Darth Plagueis, but yeah, they kind of dropped the ball on that.
But that whole segment there, I thought that was like so awkward with the cyberpunk thing, because you were saying like there was all
We
this
shouldn't do that kind of news. Yeah.
What, you said there was so much controversy, but yet you steered away from it. You didn't want to talk about it or
Well,
anything, so I
you
don't
didn't
know.
want. I felt like you were just like your sort of cues where you were kind of like, oh, it felt like you didn't want to. Like you didn't
Well,
have
I'm
any
buying the
knowledge
game,
on it. You didn't
so like if there's
want to,
anything I
and I
need
was
to
like,
know, I
oh
kind of
well.
want to know.
Well, I did talk about a couple of the controversies, but I didn't go like
You
I
didn't
didn't
say
fully
anything.
understand it. I did, like, they changed from third person to first person was one of the ones. But
Uh, it was always first person, from what.
sort of like, and that is exactly what gave me the social cue subject, because you said the exact same thing, and I was like, yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense, and I'm not. Obviously, you're not going to understand the controversy. I don't really agree with the controversy sense, so let's not continue on the subject.
So it's a case of to where you heard it, but
Where
you
we
don't like,
tried to.
you don't really care about it. Like, it's just a meh controversy. Someone's
It's
talking
about the
about it,
game,
but
though. Yeah, you brought
gotcha.
it up. I brought up that there was some stuff. you don't understand it, and I'm like, I don't really care about it. So that kind of was
Okay,
like,
so okay.
let's not keep
Yeah,
going on
because I
this
was
because this isn't
thinking
gonna go anywhere.
because I was thinking maybe it was a case like it was something you didn't want to talk about on stream or something, and
Oh, no.
okay, gotcha.
It just wasn't. It wasn't gelling right.
It's just I was so looking forward to the game, and I really wanted to talk about like the landscape and everything, and how I hope the map is really big, and I really love like the story part of it. I couldn't talk about any of that because we just controversy, move on, and it was like I got no talking points in about this game I was looking forward to, and
No,
then
I'm sorry about that. You should have. I I
it
just kind
sticks
of.
out like a sore thumb to me, and to some degree, I kind of felt like I'm buying this game. I'm saving my money now to get it, and if there's controversy that's so bad that maybe, hey, don't get it. I kind of feel
Just
like,
dumbass. It's politics. It's SJWs and that kind of.
yeah, and that was another thing I kind of thought of. Well, maybe it was like the whole. I always hear the term snowflake, and I just started thinking, yeah, that could easily get into politics. You don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about
It's
that.
yeah.
So
It gets into like with the whole like choosing your sexual orientation,
yeah,
and it's like
and that was
before
like the
they were
only
like they said
one.
we're gonna have a
Yeah.
bunch of ranges, and then they're like we're not gonna have any. We're just going to cut it down to
Hmm.
so generic that you could be anything. But people
Right.
don't like that because you're not taking a stand on something.
So yeah, now
No matter what you do, people will be pissed off at you.
yeah,
It's like that's too radical. Where
and
it's
that
like
was
you're
another thing I thought
purposely not
of.
being radical.
Yeah, and that was like another thing I thought of. Any game's gonna have controversy. Any game is gonna have backlash.
I'll
So
agree with Far Cry 5 criticism where they tried to reach for something, but they kind of were like, "Oh, we don't want to fully commit to it." That's fine. It's 5. I really
well,
did
if you
like
steered the
5.
car that way, why did you keep going?
Yeah, it's like I liked 5, but yes, they didn't things that they kind of stopped just shy of actually
Hmm.
having a stance on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like a thing that just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb, and I was kind of like, I just kind of felt like I wanted to talk about that just to get more of an idea. So, yeah, so it sounds like we're all good. I guess it probably didn't stick out like a sore thumb as much as it did to you because I actually don't know if you even really care about the game. That was another thing. I thought maybe you don't want to talk about Cyberpunk because maybe you're not looking too forward to it, and so yeah. But that was
I
some.
yeah,
No, no, go ahead.
I had zero interest in the game.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was like maybe like another thing that was probably also the reason why you moved on. So, yeah, that was just like a one moment I could think of from the last podcast that like for the most part I think it was fine, but that one part like just kind of for me it was like I kind of hated that because I kind of felt like yeah, let's not talk about what Liv likes, let's move on because he's all about controversy and yeah. So, well, I'm glad that's cleared up. So
Cleared
now we
up?
could
Yes.
finally move on. All right.
Like, I just felt like this isn't, we're not gonna be able to. It's like, we probably shouldn't. You were, when I said, like, talk about things happening, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
probably talk about that stuff. And I was like, when we started going to the controversy, I was like, this is kind of going to the same area where we were when we talked very briefly about Ninja.
Yeah, which
And the
was
same
also awkward,
stuff.
but I kind of felt like that was more quickly swept under the rug, so we could just move on. While
Yeah.
this one, I was wanting to talk about it because I there's nothing about the game that says like don't get this game because I'm a big fan of GTA, and if I wanted like a futuristic kind of type of GTA and first person, just something a little bit different, like this is the game. And so it's like checking some boxes. I'm a little sketchy with some of the stuff, but nothing says like don't buy this game. And I really was looking forward to talking about it, and so I just kind of felt like well, there goes my segment. And then we went into Borderlands, and which I have multiple games I'm looking forward to. Borderlands is one, but it wasn't my main. That's why when I said, yeah, JoJo, he's playing Borderlands. No, Liv, you're jumping too far ahead. Like, in my head, I was thinking, that's not my main. You know, that's one, but it's not the main. So that's why I didn't feel like, oh, I was jumping ahead of the script, because that's not the one I was going to talk about. But anyway.
Script, what do you mean, Liv? We do everything on the spot.
But anyway, yeah, it's, I'm glad that's all covered up. I can't really think of anything else that I could really think of. Was there any, is there anything that, well, we kind of already did this, like, before we started this stream, is, like, because, like I said, like, for me, during this podcast, the second one, I was, like, switching scenes, so it was kind of hard for me to, like, kind of, like, see what my problems is, because my focus was so many other places.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's anything that you could think of that you want to say. I mean, we already kind of did discuss it, but should we talk about it again, this time with the mic on?
Well, the only thing we haven't really a lot that we could discuss,
and
like,
we don't have
very
to talk about
now
everything.
because we talked about it. The only thing was just the Dead Space.
Yeah.
The fact that we had 2 10-minute videos were basically just 20 near minutes of neither of us saying anything, kind of just threw off the flow of it, and also, like, sort of just the flow of the podcast and the flow of us just continually, like, being podcasters, and just the whole 10-15 minutes of, like, long Twitch clips, because Twitch clips can't be more than a minute long, is fine, because we talk in between them. It keeps things going, and it's not to have anything much longer
that was
than that,
just...
and it just throws everything off.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that was just like an oversight that I just happened to not notice when I came up with everything today.
Yeah, and that's fine. I didn't, and the thing was, I was like, yeah, this isn't future. I'm gonna tell him we shouldn't do this, but I'm not gonna stop it right now. Like, I was like, I'm gonna let him have this, but just I'm gonna tell him in the future why this isn't the best course of action to take with our podcast.
Yeah, which is understandable.
To shit on your... I hope I did a good enough job explaining why it doesn't make sense to have metal.
You cut off really hard there.
Oh.
I don't know what happened, but you, like, cut, like, really hard. I actually was looking over to see if you had disconnected.
How's that better? The mic in my mouth. Even just okay. Well, that explains why you weren't talking. I was like, oh god, did I say something wrong? No, you couldn't hear me. Good.
Yeah, that's
good, because then nothing I said matters, because I was saying stuff based off you're not saying anything. That mattered. Got it. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, that was just like a hard cut, and basically, to some degree, I'm kind of glad people got the chance to see, like, my side of the Discord, just simply because there was multiple times throughout the first podcast where you, like, hard cut exactly like just now, and I'm just thinking, oh, is this a pause? Should I say something? Or, but like, this was a moment to where I was like, I could clearly, it and plus I see the meters and stuff, so I have a
Yeah.
chance to see like, oh, this is not a pause. Like, so before, well, I'm just trying to hear for something, and it just pausing a natural pause compared to like a hard cut, like because of internet issues or what have you. Like that's that was happening a lot for me. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to think of a moment to where in the first podcast where it did happen. Oh, I think you were changing something about the. I think you have a command for the podcast to like direct everyone. Hey, we got to. Me and Liv are doing a podcast. I think you were doing
Yes.
that. On my end, I got a hard cut. I did not hear Liv do commentary, and I heard a hard cut, and I did not hear anything about commentary. And then I'm just sitting there, kind of like, okay, what's going on? And then I do remember live, but I kind of shrugged it off. But I did see, I think it was Dead in chat who
Oh
said,
my god, yeah, and then I said that great, yeah, great
yeah,
commentary, Liv.
it
I said
was,
great comment. I remember that. I'm like, oh
yeah.
well,
And I
shit,
remember,
Liv, leave me hanging there.
and then
I remember that part. Yep.
I think I looked over at chat
Yeah,
and I
Chad was
saw,
like great commentary. Yep.
I think I saw Dead say great commentary, Kappa, and I'm like,
Yep.
wait, what
Yep.
happened? So then again, I was like confused, like what just happened? And it's like on my end, I got a hard cut and I didn't hear anything. So what I got, I guess I could try and mimic what was said. It was something like, "Hey Liv, how about you?" Yeah, or something like that's what I heard, and I'm just like, okay.
Okay, so this is just an occasional thing, not an all the time thing.
Uh, in this podcast, I think you came in pretty clear.
Okay, well that's good.
This one I think was pretty clear. Like, I'm starting to think. I wonder if it's like a time of day, maybe. I don't know if that could be a thing, but
Oh no, maybe I don't know.
anyway. But like, yeah, there was definitely like a hard cut like a couple of minutes ago. Like now you're fine, but
Okay, well that's good.
but yeah, that was definitely one moment that I definitely do remember, and that was like, so and again at that moment because I went back and saw it, I was able to refresh my memory. I was like, oh, that's what happened. So yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
I do remember that now. Yep.
So yeah, that's actually what happened
Uh,
on my end, and so to some degree, people could hear like the audio quality of like what my end sounds like. To some degree, I kind of feel like maybe you should be the host, just simply because uh, I would get hard cuts like just now a couple minutes ago, but for the most part, like I heard the entire stream, like there was no hard cuts, like I could hear you loud and clear. So that is definitely something audio wise. I don't know. I'm just trying to see if there's anything I could think of.
yeah, I can't.
Yeah, there's nothing I could really think of that took place in the KFC Witcher moment.
That was a good moment.
It was good. It was good. I think hobbies went fine, I guess. Obviously, the long video, yeah. Um, I guess there's not a lot to talk about in Liz Shits on from what we talked about already off stream. Yeah.
Yeah, it, but it, can't get better.
Yeah. That one's
That's
just.
essentially what it boiled down to. Was it was fine
Mhm.
through natural progression. I don't have
Yeah,
any.
that's artist of the week. I don't think there's anything there worth mentioning. Uh, I guess we already kind of brought this up, but Should we stick with shoutouts for the end of the stream?
If anyone wants to, yes.
Because I think that's like a perfect way to end the stream. Have the overlay up, you know, you say your channel and all that stuff, and yeah, I'll make sure to send you the stuff. Oh,
So segue. Leva, you heard of 3 Days Grace?
3 Days Grace. I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, well then I've got the artist of the week next time.
Nice.
These guys, Canadian band. They're a rock. What is the genre? I don't. I'd be surprised if you haven't heard some of their songs. I'll link like their three most, I'd say, most iconic songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Make a
I'll
note
be
of
looking
that.
forward to it. Yeah, send me those whenever you're ready to do so, and I'll
And ever.
listen to
Canadian
it.
band. Are they singing about beavers? No. Oh. Well, that's when we do the. That's when I put Monty Python up there. Do the lumberjack song. There's no beavers in that song. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work
All
all
day.
day. Prologue up. If you guys want to hear it, look. I don't know if we're still doing that. Should I?
Go ahead.
Okay. I actually read this because for my writing class we need to read like just something out loud to the class,
Mm-hmm.
and I read my prologue for that. So here's my prologue to my book. It's called Love and War. Tale begins in a land long lost to time. It was a magical land with wizards and demons whose powers were so fierce we hope never to face them. It had blistering deserts to bone-chilling cold, with lush jungles and forests to marshes dead and old. This was truly a land of unparalleled beauty and wonder, and during the times of peace and plenty, it was a majestic land. But those times have long passed. The divisions of man cannot hope to keep peace without a true leader to show them they must walk to ensure an everlasting peace between them. Such was the case of the great Simeon Blaze, who brought together the provinces of Neverida and their people to forge the first ever world empire, Emperor of Neverida. He reigned for 13 years. In those years, the empire of Neverida prospered, and its people thrived. When he died, his eldest son took the throne, and his eldest after him. As he ruled Neverida, never yielding to any foe. Foe. I can't read. Watch me do visual novels. For 300 years, the
So,
dynasty oversaw the growth of the empire, with emperors benevolent until one fateful day, Thalius Blaze IV was murdered along with all his heirs, plunging the empire into an age of chaos and darkness. For years, a time which became known as the Century of Darkness, the empire stood, with no emperor, fought for the crown, formed a council who would elect a successor to the Blaze crown. After many months of debate, the council elected Jonathan Phillips as Emperor of Neverida to rule the empire, but many still thirsted for the crown, none more so than Richard Beston, Prince of Seralan, who wished to see the Seralan people overthrow the empire and become the ruling people of Neverida. Prominence in the eyes of the Seralan people, who wished to throw off imperial rule, and was elected as governor of Seralan and the Seralan Isle. He announced Seralan and Seralan Isle as independent provinces and founded the Seralan Empire. War between the two empires erupted the day after the declaration. Emperor Philip mobilized the imperial army and sent his legions to deal with Beston and restore order to the empire. War was waged, resulting in massive casualties on both sides. But in the final years of the war, the empire could no longer hope to hold back the ambitious assault of Beston's men, and arranged for a treaty to be made. The 7th year of the war, in the imperial capital of Civis, in the province of Centerna, a treaty was written. The treaty stated that the were to be recognized as independent provinces from the empire, along with other reparations which weakened the empire's position in the south of Neverida and the imperial provinces. Beston accepted the treaty, determined to wipe out the empire once and for all. With the great defeat and the signing of the treaty, many of the empire were infuriated with their emperor, a new emperor, while others separating from the empire entirely. The empire were uneasy and always ready to fight one another. For a new emperor like Simeon Blaze to conquer the empire, the Sralan Empire, and bring peace. Ends 400 years after the formation of the empire, and 3 years after the end of the 11-Year War. In a little farm in the countryside of Centerna lived a young lad who no one knew what destiny had in store for him.
That wasn't too bad.
Wasn't too bad.
Well, as you were saying that, I just kind of started thinking, God, I really am picturing Witcher right now. Anyway, oh God, do you have a date set for the next podcast?
At least 2 weeks from now.
So
Can
you
we
don't.
just do it every 2 weeks?
I was gonna do it every month, but if you want to do 2 weeks,
Do it every 2 weeks. Well, we could decide. If we do it 2 weeks from now, it'd be the one for October. If we don't decide to do one again in October, so
I'm guessing maybe
I
the
say we
12th.
do another 2 weeks.
All right. I actually forgot to mention that on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that was
That was my bad. You know what? I actually thought about doing a Halloween thing, Josh. So, but I don't
Oh,
know.
Halloween. When does that fall?
That is actual Halloween is on Thursday, 31st.
Yes. If we do 2 weeks, that would be the 12th of October.
Yep. If we did 2 weeks. Yeah.
I got this. And unless circumstances change, I say we do the 12th.
All right. I guess I'll go ahead and semi make it official.
Suddenly, Colonel Sanders arrived on a horse. He had a full bucket of chicken. Yes, he brought peace to Neverida with a bucket of chicken.
Oh man.
It was very effective on the Hevesans, but people weren't too impressed by it. Actually, that's not true. I don't think the Hevesans would be triggered by chicken. If any of the people would just be intrinsically interested in chicken. I guess maybe the Nomatel. And forever, funny enough, I'm just saying things, and to everyone else, it's like, what the fuck are you saying? To me, I'm like, I'm saying that I've written their culture and a lot of their history, so it's got so much meaning behind it for me. It's essentially the same as me saying like some some like people from like ancient history that you haven't heard of. It's just like it means about the same to you for people that actually existed in Earth's history as in a fictional book that you haven't heard of or read.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's like, man, those people actually existed, but they're about as real to people as ones made up in fictional worlds.
I feel like I'm missing something, but I can't think of what I wanted to say.
Together they are. Colonel Sanders and his spouse, Darkfox47. With him, together they are unstoppable. Through the forests of Deepwood, across the ice, sea norths of red snow, of wind's rage, over the hills of through the vineyards of the Lone Isles, the rocky terrain of Soralin, the marshes of Marsh Steppes, flat plains of Saterna, and then the pretty much mirrored Soralin terrains of the Soralin Isle. Oh, and then the Fertile Isle, but you know, no one really talks about them. It's a long time ago. Okay, they killed everyone who lived on it first. It's quite a lot of genocide. There's an entire people who are naturally magically gifted, and they get completely genocided. They lose after they lose essentially what's the First World War, because they were like, well, how the hell are we supposed to suppress a people whose babies are naturally more magically powerful than some people who've studied for like 10 years of their lives?
Right.
Stuff happened, and they're like, just fuck it, kill them all. People slaughtered. Well, I guess it won't be 7 million people. It would be closer to 6 million with all the casualties taken in the war. Don't have the game didn't let you date students. I'm sure someone will make a fan game of it where you can date the other students.
Oh, I think that was the
Stuff.
thing I was thinking of.
Can people learn magic, or is this exclusively to bloodlines? So, magic is intrinsic in bloodlines. Um, if you have magic in your blood, make you stronger with it, with what you have. You can increase in power. Do not have any magical blood in you. You can't. Magic is how magic works in my world. Have some in your blood. If you have enough to actually use magic, you can exercise that and grow more powerful. But if you don't, you can't. Many horrible experiments trying to infuse non-magical people with magical blood. Oh.
Yeah, I think that was the thing I was trying to think of. Because last time it took us like a week to come up with a podcast. This time it gave us two. But I think I mentioned this off stream, but I wanted to say this for on stream so that way everyone knows. Um, this time, if it feels like I was talking a little more than Dark is, the way I originally intended is to have like everyone come up with topics, and then whatever we don't use, we'll use it for the next podcast, is what I thought, and we'll have like a time set, and so like we're gonna hard stop at the 1.5 hour mark or whatever, 2 hours, whatever, and that's what I originally thought, and then so I set mine, and then gave it to Dark, and then Dark said, "No, what you have here is good enough." So then I simultaneously just gave myself homework. That's basically what happened. So yeah, that's it just kind of worked out that way. And then slowly over time, I started thinking, what if I did this? Oh yeah, and I also wanted to bring up the free games thing. Mainly because I actually played this game. I streamed it. It was Metro 2033 Redux. It's actually not a bad game, and I think it's free on Epic right now. Yeah, I wanted to bring that up. And then, of course, the other free game is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and you got to download, what is it, the launcher in order to get it. You got to go to the store page on the launcher, and then you could grab it there for free. Um, I did try to stream using the launcher, but I think because I'm on Windows 10, it's not really working too well. So there's like a lot of crashing. And what makes it harder is because Rockstar, they have their safety or security things integrated, so you can't really mod GTA that well, and because of that, you kind of need mods in order to get it to work on Windows 10, so that's a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Mm.
Um, so when I streamed it, I was kind of crashing a lot, and I just said, screw it, I'm just going to play Witcher. So, and I do have a hard copy for San Andreas, and I also have a uh, the launcher version of what is it, Rockstar, and yeah, the launcher didn't really work out too well, sadly. I'm hoping maybe there's an update that would change everything, and I sometimes wonder if it's just me or is everyone getting this issue. So that kind of sucks. And then I think I also wanted to mention, I think the reason why. Oh no, Dark, do you want to talk about launchers or no? Or save that for a
Um,
podcast?
yeah, we could save that for a podcast. I don't really think that, everyone having a different launch, it gets cluttered. It's like
Yeah.
everyone having like Disney's got that streaming service, Netflix, Hulu, all those things. It just gets cluttered.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
this, I just like to have things more minimalized for personal standpoint. Just like, yeah, like Steam isn't the best, but like everything in one place and Steam being pretty somewhat decent is good enough for my standards.
Yeah, there were some things I wanted to talk about, but at the same time, I figured we're probably overdue anyway, so.
Yeah,
And I didn't know if we could probably use that for another podcast, but yeah.
maybe.
Anyway, it was a thought, but I did at least want to bring up the free games so that way if anyone wants to go pick them up, you can. Um, I was a little bit taken back the fact that Epic gave away basically the entire Batman series. I thought that
I
was.
picked all that up. I'm never gonna play it, but I picked it up. That's $120
Yeah, it was like six
worth of
games
stuff.
total. So.
Uh, I don't. I won't buy anything off Epic unless it's exclusively on Epic. But I'll take their free games. I don't care.
Yeah, I would recommend getting any of their free games because, I mean, hell, it's free. It's not costing you a
It's
dime.
free.
So, but that was the
Definitely not
one.
making. Definitely not making them a dime if you don't go ahead and use their launcher for anything else.
Nope. And I even heard a little
That's the
bit
way to
about
actually
their
stick it to
launcher.
Epic is just to take their free game and don't buy anything on
I
their
know,
store.
right?
Yeah, just take their free games. Don't spend anything. That's the biggest F you can do to them.
I actually thought it was kind of funny. I thought I heard that. What was it? There was an update for Metro Exodus, which is the latest Metro game, and
Mm.
I thought I heard on day one it was completely broken. You couldn't even play the game because you got to download it through the Epic launcher, and I'm starting to see that a lot of people is creating their own launcher just so that way they don't got to deal with Epic. And it's when you have a patch, you can update it through your own launcher. But for whatever the reason, there's no launcher for Metro, so you just got to download it through Epic. They didn't know how to put it in correctly, so it completely bricked people's games in some cases. So you had to
Paradox
reinstall.
did the same thing too.
Yep.
They made a launcher, sub sort of launcher. I
Yep.
guess it was supposed to kind of be like the Total War one, where you load it up. It's like, hey, these are all the Total Wars you have. You can play any of them, even though you clicked in Steam to play just this one. But it's 100% broken. I had to physically go into the game files and then select the game in there, and it works. But if I try and play it off the play button on Steam, that it doesn't launch. The update. Yeah. That question, I really do enjoy answering questions about my writing and stuff. Some interesting questions people have asked me about the world and has forced me to like give two thoughts about stuff I haven't thought about. I'm like, and I guess it would work this way, huh? That's cool. I didn't think of it that way.
I don't think
It's
I ever had
interesting
that.
when someone it's just interesting. It's just like certain things you don't think of yourself, and then someone's like, this, and then you're like, I never thought about that. And then you have to think, it's like, how would that work? And you're like, oh yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yes, Grace.
I think that.
Never used any mods for Payday.
You don't use mods?
Nah, not for Payday. I mod the shit out of Left 4 Dead 2. By that I mean literally everything. Special enemies that I could find. Yeah. For Payday 2, for whatever reason. I just never had any desire. It's because I just... I mean, it's because I just suffered playing that game.
Yeah, I don't think I
Minecraft Zombies Left 4 Dead. Yeah, I have that one, yeah.
think I might be the exact opposite. I didn't really mod too much of Left 4 Dead, but I kind of went ham on Payday, I think. I didn't do anything like really outrageous, but I did add a bunch of games that weren't there, and they were kind of fun to just kind of mess around with. Dual wielding freaking LMGs. That was amazing.
I guess I like mods on... I guess a lot of the games that I mod a lot and play mods on are those games that have stopped updating, so the mods don't break. And then mod people don't, like, just give up. Just leave it dead. So it sucks.
Yeah.
Understand it. And it's like, hey, this mod doesn't work. And it's like, there'll be 20 people being like, hey, when's this mod getting updated? It'll be like the first line is like, the mod's getting updated this time. It's like Twitch. It's like, what game are you playing? It's like, you clicked on the channel. How the fuck don't you know? It's like, what's going on in the title. It's like, why? Read. Just read. Why? Just read. There's a command. But why do I have to tell you?
Actually seen that with streamers. They would put stuff in their title, and it's like people don't even look at it.
No one reads titles.
And I just thought that was so hilarious.
It's just like...
Blindly click on videos, I guess.
Yeah. Can't you read? There's fun engagement. So it's like, hey, oh, this is a cool game. What is it? And then you got to be... That gives you an excuse to talk about the game. Those are great. But it's like... like... Really? It's just like... Read the title, please.
Yeah, I think that's it that I could think of that I wanted to bring up. So, I don't know. I guess we call it a day here, or?
Yeah.
Right.
Night for me, it's 10:30.
All right, Dark. It's always a pleasure, man. I guess we'll
That's
see you hopefully on the
12.
12th.
Yeah. And I hope to see all of you guys who may or may not be watching there as well.
Awesome.
So
Well,
you live, like I don't want to solo it. That'd just be me streaming.
that I actually thought about that too. What if one of us like overslept or something? I don't know. And then
How
like
would I oversleep? It starts at 7 p.m.
I have weird sleep schedules. I actually woke up 3 hours before we streamed.
Oh, well, to be fair, it's 4 for you, so that means you woke up at 1 and I've woken up at 1 before.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. Guess I'll see you around, man.
I'll see you. I'll see you around. Josh, I'll see you either tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever we're finishing up Darkest Dungeon.
All right.
Finishing it up.
Sounds good.
Oh, I see that fan art.
Oh, should I show off the emotes
Oh,
I
why
did?
not?
God, I gotta admit, out of all the emotes I did so far, I actually really enjoyed these ones. I really love the derp ones.
If we do Darkest Dungeon tomorrow, I might drink. I've got like two Summersbees I've been meaning to drink for like a week, over a week now. I just haven't.
Where the
I'll
hell
say
did
I
I
just
put those
one, but I
emotes?
just loved it so much I just didn't drink.
Yeah, there they are. And plus, for
Oh, why the hell
those...
did it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I click. I meant to click one of each, but I just ended up doing double. That's not the one. They look great. They got a. Yeah, literally, I woke up this morning. Notification on my phone. Nice. Can't wait to tell Liv.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just going through the emotes here. God damn it. I'm lost. I think I'm gonna start doing that more often now, is doing emote streams.
Yeah, they're entertaining. Ever want an excuse to do an emote stream? Just like, hey, Dark, got any emote ideas? And I'm like, boy, do I. I have so much unpaid work for you to do.
Oh man.
There it is. Yeah, there they are.
Yep. God, I just love these so much.
Great.
It really does work either way with, is it here? Yeah. Either with the eyes kind of over the bag or have the mouth.
Yes, it does. I just yawned again. Dark and his KFC money.
Alright. Yeah, I
Have to have an emote of me holding a thing of chicken wings, aren't I?
Oh god, what if we did something to where we have you with like you look like an employee of KFC. Uh Put a little hat on it. Okay, now I'm just thinking this emote we're gonna be taking this emote and we're oh god, what's going on? We're gonna be taking this emote and we're gonna go ahead and just
Can I know that
slap a
picture?
hat
Please
on it.
do. I'll
Can I
forget it.
take your order? Oh god.
Ah.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna need something freaking KFC chicken related. Damn.
Those emotes are so good. Alright. I guess that's pretty much it. I guess I'll see you around.
Alright. See ya, dude.
Bye.
Hey.
Well, that was the Dark Fox, and I guess that's pretty much it for me as well. Oh god, we're not starting the stream, we're ending. God damn it. Anyway, thank you, Dark, for showing up. Thank you, Josh, for hanging out with us. You're awesome. I actually forgot to tell you to spam Dark's channel in chat, but I don't know if you did that. Because when we did the shout-out spot, I completely forgot to tell you. I was actually going to do that myself, but I just completely slipped my mind. Oh well. We'll do it next time, maybe. But yeah, next time I want to, like, when we do shout-outs and, you know, you see this screen, we'll spam our Twitch links in chat, and then obviously when we go to Dark, we'll spam his next. I forgot to do that. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. So yeah, I guess next, what is it? The 12th, we said? 12th of October. I guess we're going to be doing another podcast. Looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Born to lose, live to win. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, possibly continuing more Bioshock. So, I'll see you guys then. Peace.